Yeah, I'm good. Let's do this.
Hey, hi. Thanks for listening to the JJ podcast. And it's been a while, and I've got a few things for you.
Good. Let's do this.
We're start with something different. So I found one article on, what was it, joe.ie. The headline is, Metal Singer Pauses Show After Scaring Girl in Front Row.
What band was that?
I'll start off. Okay, so the quote at the beginning is, "We may be dark, but let me share a secret with you. Sometimes darkness can show you the light."
That's true.
All right. A heavy metal singer has been praised after he paused a concert to comfort a little girl in the front row who became a bit overwhelmed.
Well, if they're that kind of band, why would you take a little girl?
David Draiman,
Oh, Disturbed.
the singer of Disturbed, who are currently performing their Take Back Your Life tour. The heavy metal band are best known for songs such as Down with Sickness, In the Sound of Silence, etc., etc. Like most metal bands, their shows are a bit loud and intense, and not the sort of place you might expect to see a young child after having the time.
At a Disturbed show, I actually expected to
You might not expect to see a young child having the time of their life. So, when Draiman spotted a girl who had been singing along to all their songs at the very front of the crowd with her family, he decided to approach the gig barrier to speak to her. But this caused the youngster to panic a bit. When Draiman saw that she was upset, he decided to halt the show and give her some words of comfort.
Because he does that. I love them. They're so underrated.
So he shared a heartwarming moment as a clip on TikTok. You can see the singer getting the crowd to say hello to Sophia before telling her it's okay.
I've actually watched that on YouTube. It was a great moment.
Yep.
It's one of the reasons I love Disturbed. Because at Disturbed, you can, like, they've had people, like 86-year-olds.
Yeah.
Just, like, I love that. Because metal up your ass, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. So.
And they're good. They're so good.
Yeah. And after doing a fist bump with the girl, he returned to the stage. I think he did a picture and all that with her too.
Yeah, that sounds accurate for being David Draiman. Yeah. Good for him. I watched that. I watched it on YouTube. It was because I'm a father of daughters. It was touching for me. Yeah.
And then there's some Maiden news.
They're not in the fucking Hall of Fame. So what?
Did you hear about Nico having a heart attack?
Yes, I did
stroke,
hear about that, and that's sad as hell.
Yeah, stroke in January. Obviously, he's doing better now.
He posted a thing on YouTube saying that he was okay and all that shit, which is good because I love him.
Yeah, because I believe it left part of him paralyzed for a little bit that he had to work through.
He's such a good drummer. He's probably one of the best. And he's top 5 for sure. And then if you take away the double kick, which a lot of people seem to think he uses,
which he does not.
He doesn't. He's a single pedal player, and he's ridiculous. He's so good, so good.
Yeah, well, at one of the concerts, he had when he did his bow at the end, everyone was more cheering for him than everyone else.
Yeah, and he's so funny. He's so funny. He has such a good time sitting behind that monstrosity that he sits behind. I love him. I love them.
Yeah.
But anybody that's watched anything before this should know that.
Yeah. And then Bruce has been teasing.
He just released a solo album.
Another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he was teasing.
Yeah. I'm yet to check that out, but I absolutely will. Yeah. I like, he's got a song that I really like that is not, it's not Iron Maiden at all. Like there's no.
That's why it's his.
Yeah.
solo
No.
product.
But usually when people in bands go solo, there's you can tell what band they're in.
Yeah.
What the hell is it called? Tears of a Dragon.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound anything even remotely like Iron Maiden, especially since Adrian Smith was played on that album. So Adrian Smith went with him, and it doesn't sound anything even remotely like Iron Maiden. And it was as much as I kind of was like, just give me more Iron Maiden. It was refreshing, and it was not Iron Maiden. But you can tell that Bruce wrote the songs because he has that. I mean, songwriters just have
a character trait.
Yeah, they just have styles.
Yeah.
Usually, and you can just tell, and you can tell Bruce wrote them, but some of them were good enough that he should have took them to Maiden and went this. Like he's a good songwriter.
Yeah.
Underrated.
He's written some for Maiden too. So.
Yeah. There's one on Dance of Death that's really good. I can't remember what the hell it's called. Wow, brain fart. But it's one of his finest pieces of work. It's so good.
So he's got that new one we got to check out sometime. And Steve Harris has mentioned how he is a workaholic.
He has been for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He mentioned when Maiden is not touring, he still wants to tour, so he's with another band. So when Maiden's not touring, he's touring with someone else.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. And they don't sound like Maiden either. They actually sound different.
I'm amazed that he has any time for anything else. Because he always does. I know that they own a football team.
European football.
No, it's football, dude.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Soccer is actually football, and it makes way more sense that that's called football than football is.
Which they would consider rugby. It's a little different.
Yeah. I don't understand rugby at all. I want to, but I don't get it. But anyway, yeah, Maiden is. I fucking love them. I love them so much. They're so good. It amazes me that they're still good. Like usually when you're around this long,
everything.
It starts to tail off. There are other bands that have done that and are doing that, but Maiden is still just Maiden. It's not. I mean, Revelations is still the best album, but yeah.
And with the set list they're doing right now, they've changed up a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have such a big catalog.
That's why they're changing
yeah.
it. They're not playing all the songs you normally expect them to play.
There are some songs by them that they must play. Whether they want to or not. Like, they must play.
Yeah.
Trooper has to be played. You can't not. You can't not.
Oh,
Trooper's got to be played.
I don't know if I can find it right now, but I know they chose the different song off of the Fear of the Dark album.
Other than Fear of the Dark?
Yeah. I think they had 5 songs from Senjutsu that they were playing on the set list right now. And, here's one for you. Who was the opener at Powerfest between Maiden and Guns N' Roses?
It should have been Guns N' Roses, but it was probably Maiden.
It was Maiden. They went and they did their whole thing, and Guns N' Roses started late.
Who? Of course.
Yeah.
Who took over for Ozzy? Was it Judas Priest went instead of Ozzy?
I did not hear.
Has that happened yet?
Yeah, it's like this weekend.
Oh, I would love to go to that.
Yeah.
I would love so much to go to that. Like, I love every one of those bands. Yeah,
I think I did hear Priest was going.
Yeah, so Priest took over for Ozzy then. Because Ozzy got sick or something.
Yeah, something.
Well, listen, Ozzy's lived a life.
Yeah.
And reality is time is getting shorter for Ozzy because he's old.
Well, for a lot of those headliners.
Yeah.
All of the headliners. Well, all the acts.
But
they're all headliners.
So there was... Okay, so I'll make a comparison, and we're going to go fucking way off brand here.
Yeah, well, you know.
There was that they did that tour where it was the Big Four. Where it was Slayer, Megadeth, Anthrax. Yeah. They did that. Mm-hmm. This weekend of shows tops that by a mile. Like, I'd rather go to that than the Big Four. Because I appreciate what they've done, but I'm not a fan of Slayer.
Yeah.
They're maybe too heavy for me. I'm not a huge fan of Anthrax, not for any reason other than I'm just not a fan of Anthrax.
I think there's only actually very few Anthrax songs.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate what they've done, and they are Big Four for sure, but I'm just not a fan. Megadeth, I love Megadeth. Rust in Peace and 13 are they're light years ahead of everybody else. And as big a fan of Metallica as I have been, Megadeth. It's because I still listen to new stuff by Megadeth.
I don't think I've had any of their new stuff come on my playlist yet.
I don't really like. I got the second newest from Metallica. Like, I got that Hardwired.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give that a go.
I started listening to that one while working, and
because Metallica for me, after the Black Album went south, for me, just for.
There was a bunch of songs I still liked after that album.
Oh yeah,
it's just, as soon as he got that one snare, I just couldn't do it.
Oh, that Saint Anger snare! I hate that snare so much.
And he used it for a couple albums. I just
yeah, there was a time where, as a drummer, if it said Lars Ulrich, I would have bought it.
Yeah.
But that snare, I absolutely hated the sound of that snare.
No, I
absolutely hated it. I played it in a music store once, and that snare, I hated it.
It actually sounds like that when you're like.
I hated it. I absolutely hated it.
I was kind of hoping it was just maybe bad way of recording it.
No. Because I was like, I don't know if it's the way they recorded it or what they...
Well, for the comparison, I remember, like, early high school, I had these cheap little speakers that I put on my Discman.
It sounded like a tin can.
Yeah. Everything sounded that way on these little cheap speakers. And the brand new album from them at the time just...
Yeah. I mean, they have definitely earned the right, and they've never been go with the grain.
Oh, yeah. No.
So...
did their own thing.
They
experimented.
Yeah, what you want to do. That experiment did not work because that snare. He went back to regular snare now.
Yeah.
That, thank God. Which is why I'm like, okay, I'll start listening again. Mm-hmm. But even with them, it's just like Load. I like a couple of songs. Reload. I like one song maybe.
I know I heard at least one song from there, but I think there's two I'd listen to on it.
I'm not even sure if they're on Load or Reload, but I know there's some songs. So the Memory Remains on disc or whatever you're going to listen to it on.
Yeah.
What a shit song. Live, it's one of the best ones they do. Like doing that song live. Mm-hmm. It levels that song up so much.
It probably goes with how they can do the performance with it, because when you can see a performance instead of just hearing it, they can create the moment for you.
But with that song, okay, some people are going to get mad.
Yeah, well.
But with that particular song, it's not actually Metallica that makes that song good live. It's the crowd.
Yeah.
Because the crowd, when that's like it's a Metallica show, so you're in it anyway.
Yeah.
Like you don't leave a Metallica show without sweating your ass off.
Yeah.
That's why did you go? But Memory Remains, as soon as that song comes on, it's like something just happens to the crowd. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like it's not even a Metallica song anymore for me. It's a crowd song.
Okay.
That Metallica wrote. Mm-hmm. So like that song is phenomenal live. And to be
part of it
in that crowd,
yeah,
it's unreal. It's unreal. Like if you've not seen Metallica live, go do it. Just go do it.
I saw them once. That was good enough.
It's never enough. If I had more money than brains, I'd fucking go on tour with them. They put on such a good show. I would have loved to have seen them with Volbeat.
That would have been interesting.
I would have loved that show because I love Volbeat too.
I saw them at the Sanitarium tour. Thought it was pretty good.
I don't remember the tours I saw them on. I saw them on the St. Anger tour.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember another one. I saw them twice.
I think you were at the Sanitarium tour too.
Might have been.
Yeah. Alright.
So remind me of the Sanitarium tour.
Alright, so the Sanitarium tour is when Metallica, Linkin Park, and Limp Bizkit were all touring together with Mudvayne.
Right, okay, yeah. So that is the tour I saw them on. That's the first one I went to.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that was the first time I saw them. The second time I saw them is the time I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when they did release Saint Anger, I didn't really...
So I saw them on that bill, and I saw them when they were with Godsmack, and that was a fantastic show.
Godsmack would be a good lineup to see.
Oh, dude. Godsmack is so good live.
Yeah.
Like that's when I realized I was actually a fan of Godsmack, because
Before that, you kept complaining about Voodoo.
I still hate that song. Yeah. I absolutely hate that song.
Anytime I mention Godsmack, you were like, fucking Voodoo.
Yeah, I hate that song. But when I saw them live with Metallica, mm-hmm. I knew every song and I was singing along. Every fucking song. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, that's who sings that song. Oh, I guess I'm a Godsmack fan.
Yeah.
And now I have like half of my playlist is fucking Godsmack. I love Godsmack. But I hate that song.
Okay, ends up we had some audio issues with the last one, and our microphones died, so we couldn't hear anything else for the rest of the episode. So it's a little bit shorter. It's only about 15 minutes. I think about 15 minutes this time. But we are working on some new stuff. We got some good ideas, and possibly even another person to be involved in this. So subscribe, keep listening. You are in for some more stuff coming up, and hopefully it'll be a little bit more interesting. Hopefully we can keep everyone entertained. So leave it.
That depends how riled up you get me.
Well, I do have a good habit of. It's one of my better hobbies.
Yeah, I know.
So leave a comment below, subscribe. You can now rate us on Spotify.
Oh, that's new.
Yeah, and see you guys next time.